Hello everyone, it's Jennifer, and thank you so much for joining me today on my Jesse James Beads mat. Today I have the Market Fresh Mini Mix Lemon Yellow Sun, and in Lemon Yellow Sun, and I love this mix. I had originally thought I would pair this up with the Marigold Strand, but as I started working, this mix was fabulous to work with on its own, and I still might bring in the Marigold Strand because I do have some extra pieces left here. I did make a little dangle here with one of the beads, and so what I did, and I'm not going to use it now, and so what I'm going to do is I kept out a second one so that if I want to use it I can. So this is all that I have left from that mix. I have a couple of these gorgeous teardrops faceted. I have some rondelles, and I have some tiny beads, and you can look to see they're all in that same color tone. So I'm going to be using those somewhere else. Then I have some top drilled faceted drop beads. I have a couple charms that are stunning and a couple of tassels. Again, those beads, and then I just had one of these. Wait, no I don't. I need it. Okay, so that's all I have. We're gonna put this over to the side. So we're gonna make a couple pairs of earrings, and I have a necklace, and I've already pre-strung the necklace. So I'm just gonna put that up here. And so the first pair of earrings we're going to do is we're going to do these here, and I guess I should probably put my ear wires on, at least for this one, so you can see the earring. We're going to do some wire wrapping, and that's it. So we have a few very simple projects, quick and easy. So what I did was I did just a simple loop down at the bottom, and then I added my dangle, and then I used one of the hearts, one of those little tiny rondelles, and then wire wrapped it up at the top. So we have one of those gorgeous little drop charms, and for wire I am using 20 gauge gold plated, or gold silver plated and gold. And this is from Softflex Company. And I have just a few inches here because what I'm going to be doing, this is my, nope, that's not a flush cut, but we're gonna make one. And get a flush cut. And we're gonna make a simple loop, and I did it about halfway down on mine. And so you can make yours as large as you want. And then I have this here, okay? But I need to take that end right at the bottom, at the base, and just give it a bend. And it's not a very pretty bend. I didn't do a very good job. Okay? And I like to add, this isn't very straight either. I like to add, like my charms or anything that I'm gonna be connecting, I like to add before I start doing my wire wrapping. Get that nice and tight in there. Okay, then I'm gonna add my bead, my heart, and then my little tiny faceted rondelle. It's so cute. And on this one here, so down at the bottom, my loop is going this way, but this is how I want my earring. So I'm gonna do my loop up here this way. And I'm gonna come down just a little bit, or come in just a little bit on my chain nose pliers. It is 20 gauge, so I need to allow a little bit of room for my wraps. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down just, I have a little mark here, and that's about halfway, and I go about halfway between the end and there for my wire wrap loop. And on your round nose pliers, if you do not have these round nose pliers from Softlex, yours will be a little different, because I have a couple pairs of round nose pliers and halfway on all of them is just a little different. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add my chain nose pliers for stability so that I don't ruin my loop that I just made. And I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping. Oops. I'm going to go once, readjust, twice, and then one more time around. I can already tell that's not very cute. So go around once, go around twice, and you just try to keep it in there as tight as possible. And there's your wire wraps. It will come in with our cutters, trim off, and then I want to tuck in that little end. I'm gonna add my bent chain nose pliers, and then with my chain nose pliers, just come in and just tuck that in. And I already know that it's all a little wonky, so I'm just gonna add my round nose pliers and straighten everything up. Okay, it just looks a little wonky. It was probably because my wire before I even started. And we'll add our ear wire. And that was one pair of earrings already. And close that up. And here's one pair of earrings. I'm just gonna put them on the mat and zoom you in. And there's the first pair. Push those off to the side. Now we're gonna bring in our second project. Again, I probably should have put the ear wire on. Let's do that now. I hope you can't hear the whole house fan going. We have yet to turn on our AC. We're here in California and it's pretty warm. We have yet to turn on our AC. So you're gonna hear cars outside, you're gonna hear everything. And so I have the whole house fan on, and it's early in the morning, and I'm hoping that you can't hear it. So I won't know until I go to edit. But here's a second pair of earrings. We're gonna be using some of those gorgeous kind of orangey yellow rondelles. So we're gonna use all 6 of them. We're gonna use the other cage bead. So we're using all of the cage beads, 2 of the tassels, and then we're going to be using one of these little gorgeous, they look like little pearl coins. This, I think, is the 22 gauge I'm gonna use for my knotted head pin. And I made a knotted head pin because the holes on these are good size. And so the ball head pins that I was using, it would just go right through. And that happens. And when that does happen, you want to make yourself a knotted head pin. But this is what I did. I just went ahead and put both tassels on there, just like that. Okay, so let's get started with our knotted head pin. I have a very, very small piece. This is only maybe a couple and a half inches. And I had a scrap piece, and well, it was more than a scrap. It was just like an extra piece. And so I just cut it in half and used half of it on the other. And on this one here, I did a bulky wrap. So I went around twice just to bulk it up when I did the wrapping. And so we'll do that together. So now I am going to, I'm gonna get a good flush cut first. The flush cut is so that I can have a nice straight edge there. And I'm gonna come in with my round nose pliers at the very tip and just start wrapping around. So if you run out of head pins, but you have some 22, 24 gauge wire, you don't have to stop any jewelry making because you can make your own. And when I get to that, here's the end of the wrap that I was just making. I have some pink marker on me. I just went ahead and brought that while I still had a grip of the wraps with my round nose pliers. I just gave it a straight up bend, and then you come in and you put your end of your wire back through the loops you just made. You grab it with your nylon jaw pliers, and then you just give it a tug. And then I always flatten it out. I know the point of having a knotted head pin is to have that beautiful rosette, but I just flatten it out a little bit. And then, so now when I put this on, it can get a little wonky, but I just kind of just flatten things out a little bit. And then we have that. I come in with my round nose pliers, and I think what I did was, because I didn't want a neck, because I wanted to make that bulky wrap, I just folded this over. And then I came in with my round nose pliers and form over that top barrel. So you end up with this, and it's way off to the side, right? So we're just gonna push that to the back and then just start rolling until we get in the center. And there we're in the center. And again, like you see, we have really no neck. And so I come in, I have a hold of that loop and just start wrapping. So I'm gonna go down a couple of times and then come back up a couple of times so that I get a nice bulky wrap. And that's what I was wanting. And I can go down one more. This one looks like it's kind of, there we go, get it evened out a little bit. And that's the thing with the bulky wraps. You can do whatever you want with them. And so we have a nice little bulky wrap. And really no waste. But I want to tuck in that little end. So I'm just going to just carefully bring that end down because I do not want to do anything to that loop. Now what we're going to do is we need some 20 gauge wire so that we can make our component. We are going to grab probably about maybe 3.5 inches. It's probably going to be a bit much, but here's my there is my flush cut. I'm going to come in about halfway again, like I did on the other pair of earrings, and get that loop going. Come in with the tip of my chain nose pliers and give it a bend. Okay. Then I'm going to use my chain nose pliers. I'm going to open this up. Then I'm going to find my point. All right, let's make this a little more straight. There we go. And let's add our rondelle, our coin bead, and our rondelle. And so here's the front. So I want my loop to go in the opposite direction. Form that over to get that 90-degree angle. We're going to come in here and form over, rotate, push to the back, and then just get that nice and centered. We're going to come in with our chain nose pliers, lock that in place. I'm going to grab a second pair, and then I'm going to make my loops. And I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. Okay, and that's what the front's gonna look like. I'm gonna come in with my cutters, and then with my chain nose pliers, I'm gonna tuck that in. And then get that all nice and evened up. All right. Now, oh, I need some, I just have some little 5mm jump rings, or 4mm, 5mm, maybe 4.5. We'll say 4.5. And you heard it unlock. So I'm gonna put one at the bottom. So I'm gonna put one at the bottom of this. So we have another point down here. Okay, and get that closed up. Then I'm gonna have another jump ring, and we're gonna put our little, you hear the jump rings unlock. So we're gonna add that, and then we're gonna put our little wrapped rondelle. So then we have that, and you could stop there. If you're not a tassel person, you can just stop right there and you have yourself a beautiful little earring. But I am going to add a tassel. Okay, so that one goes that way. And it was a little, I had to finagle things around a little bit. I did them and then undid them. But again, you can do this however you wish. And like I said, you could stop there. You could just stop at having these and just have a head pin if you want. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna put one of the tassels on. I think I added 2 more jump rings with the tassel on the end. Okay. All right. Then I did add 2 more tassel, 2 more jump rings. So we're gonna add a jump ring with our tassel. And then we're gonna add 1 more jump ring. I love long earrings. Some people aren't necklace wearers, and so their earrings are their statement piece. And then we're gonna add this just to the back. And there we have it. We'll add our ear wire, and we have our second pair of earrings. Let's go ahead and add our wire, ear wire. Okay, and here is our little second pair of earrings. Oh, so cute. Love the yellows, perfect for this time. And lastly, we're gonna bring in a necklace. So these are all the scraps I have, and I am including when I'm messed up and had a little extra. So I have some good sized pieces here. All right, now this necklace is inspired by, yes, Sarah James. If you watched her, she was on the Softflex company, one of the designers on one of their videos that they did last month or the month before. And she just started stringing up some beads and came up with a gorgeous necklace. Yes, this is not long enough for a necklace. And I have a couple of different options for you on how to finish this off. For this necklace, you're gonna need some 2x2 crimp tubes and a lobster clasp. If you want to attach, I'm gonna go ahead and attach my lobster clasp directly to the necklace. I typically do not like doing that because then if this starts to malfunction, I have to take apart my entire necklace. So I'm actually going to bring in another jump ring. As I'm sitting here talking this through, I'm going to bring in another jump ring, and I will add my jump ring directly to my necklace. This is for me, so I don't anticipate. However, though, you never know. Lobster clasp, they can malfunction. Now, like I said, this is an inspired piece. Sarah James had, I can't remember if it was specialty or the tree, was it specialty or the tree of life? There was a one of the last Softlex company design challenge kits. She was a special guest. She was their special designer. And what she did was she used, I think it was the bone, and didn't fill up the beads all the way to the top, because for me, I have long hair. I only wear my hair up around the house, so having beads up around the back is a waste. However, though, I do love to expose this amazing beading wire from Softlex, and this one is the yellow. It's yellow lemon quartz. And if you do not have this lemon colored beading wire, and you have gold beading wire or silver beading wire, you can, and you don't want to expose your wire, that's another thing too. If you don't want to expose your wire, you can finish it off here and then add some chain to the end, and you can make it real cute with adding maybe some paper clip chain and having a toggle clasp over here at the end and having the toggle showing. You can also use some of the amazing Toho beads. This is just a very small collection that I have of some of the incredible colors and sizes of Toho beads from jessiejamesbeads.com. You can either add in this yellow, or you can add in even this cream color to finish it off. And since this yellow is about the same color as the wire, I probably go with the yellow. But again, this is just a very small collection. I have a few more colors that I'll be showing to you later in another video. I love this. This is actually a garbage box that my friend Teresa made, and she makes these. And like I said, this is a garbage piece, but I mean a garbage box, but can't use it as a garbage box, right? So I house my Toho beads from Jessie James Beads and my needles, so I don't lose my needles. Okay. So on one end, I don't have to worry about the sizing yet. On one end, I'm going to grab one of my 2x2 crimp tubes, and I am going to make just a loop so that I can have a loop for my clasp to grip onto. Okay. I'm going to come in with my magical crimpers. You can use the 2x2 crimp tubes with these magical crimpers. And what is so magical about them is that when, again, it works with the 2x2 crimp tubes, these do. Maria said that there's a mini or micro that you can use the 1x1s with, so I'll have to look into that. But you get your crimp tube in the center, and you'll see that there's only one well. There's only one well for the crimping. And when you give it that first crimp, you end up with a little square. And you flip it on its side, you get in the middle again, and you squeeze down, and then you just start going around. And what you're gonna see, and I just keep squeezing until I don't have any tension. And when I don't have any tension when I squeeze down, I know I have that bead-like finish. Isn't that cute? Then I'm going to come in and get as close as I can and give that a trim. and that is so secure. Then on this side here, I need to determine how long I want my necklace. So I'm going to determine how long I want my necklace, and I'll come right back. This is actually exactly where I want it. I'm going to end up with maybe about 15.5 inches. So I'm going to grab my 2x2 crimp tube. The good thing about this too is if I decide I want it to be longer, all I have to do is just add a jump ring and some extender chain. Okay, and I don't want my wires crossing. I don't need a huge loop. Okay, but I do need my wire in there. And I don't, like I said, I don't need a huge loop. And I'm gonna come in, get right in the middle again, and give it a squeeze. And you end up with a square. Turn it on its side with having the crimp in the middle, and then just start turning around until you have no more tension. And I feel like I have some, there it is, right there. Okay, then I'm gonna come in. Again, I have that little bead-like finish. I have my wire in there still from the last cut. And I'm gonna come in. And I like working from the spool. Here's why. This is the only wire waste I have from that. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, now this does kind of free flow. If you don't like that, you can always add a crimp and crimp off at the ends. You could do a little bit of macrame, but then that would, you know, cover up your beautiful wire if you're going to be using the wire. But I just like it free flowing, especially if I have a chance to add an extender later. Then it's free flowing and it's just going to do what it's going to do. And there is our simple, quick and easy necklace inspired by Sarah James, because I wanted to make one too, and I saw this yellow and thought, this is it. And there is our necklace. So cute. And again, I used only the beads and components from the Market Fresh Mini Mix in the lemon yellow sun color. I will have a link in the description below to jessiejamesbeads.com. Go and grab your own. I still have quite a few beads left over. We made 2 pairs of earrings using beads and components from the box. And we are ready. This actually matches this one. So I have a little bit of a set there. So please give this video a huge thumbs up if you like it, comment. I love to see what everybody has to say, and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.